up to speed, up to speed, up to speed.
Live from the apocalypse, full of glee and shooting it all over you, shooting the glee all over you. This is State of the
Everywhere.
Game.
Sticky too.
Cameron would hate that. Cameron would be flipping out right now.
Full of glee and misery.
Yeah. Thank you. We are here. This is State of the Game. Uh, I am
What's up, buddy?
I'm Dano, the host, and I am shocked by good news. That's my thing. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
want to really shock me, give me good news. I
Right.
I live and thrive in negative engine, you know?
Yeah.
I process all that. But I am much like the picture behind me, you know, uh waiting, waiting with my scars out for Ka, you know, like
Yeah.
Laboon, like Laboon. So my co-host called out he is under his Avengers blankie watching Sarah Palin pornography, Sarah Palin based pornography.
Okay.
So we had to
That
give
was
him.
that was John McCain's running.
Yeah, she was a smoke show though, for
Yeah,
sure.
she was.
They had a whole. Oh, that was the whole moment for the industry, right? They were
Yeah.
the whole parody.
Who's nailing Palin? Who's nailing Palin?
Yeah, it was a whole. Yeah, Sarah,
remember that.
Lisa Ann made. She brought the bag.
That's what it was, Lisa Ann.
She brought the bag
Lisa
home.
Ann was
Yeah.
on like the.
Yeah, she bought the bag home.
I remember Lisa Ann. That was my formative years.
You know, her and Tina Fey dapped up over the bag they brought home for that. That's
Oh
good.
my God. Yeah, Tina Fey's been living off the Sarah Palin bag for a minute.
Yep.
Man, Tina Fey and Eminem had her on one of his music videos. Lisa
Yep.
Ann
That's it.
on the music.
That was.
Remember that?
Sarah Palin and that Tea Party movement is literally where it all started going wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
where it went
where it
off the
started.
rails. That's where it went off the rails.
She like at that time we were like, these are the dumbest people on earth, but man,
Yeah. She seems
Yeah.
competent now.
Like
the Democrats have become them.
and the GOP establishment was like, these guys are Looney Tunes, but we're going to roll them in and it's going to be fine.
Oh,
Right.
they have a unified block, no matter what.
Yeah, yeah.
Like from the Nazi, like the true dyed in the wool Nazi, to the
Yep.
most casual.
Sperry's wearing.
Yeah, they're hanging out. They don't care. They just don't want trans people around.
And maybe the Tea Party moment.
Or Mexicans.
Or well, it depends on how long the Mexican's been around.
They don't give a shit.
If he got his citizenship, he's like,
No, he's like, oh, you're a citizen? Well, go back to Mexico and try to come back. We'll see if we let you in.
I think the Tea Party movement was really important because it was the first time.
It's a tipping
Cruz
point.
came up on that too.
It was the first time the American public started to realize that hardcore racist people and conspiracy theorists are not two different groups.
Right.
No.
Right.
That is, you keep thinking they're two different groups. There's like JFK guy with the board over here, and the guy who wants people to go back to Africa over there. It's the same guy. It's the
Same guy.
Same exact guy. And it's really
And his name's Joe Rogan.
That's perfect.
you know it's really sad because there's like, I don't know how to really explain this, but I worked with a guy and he was a retired CIA agent. I can't say his name, but he was old. He grew to hate the government. Basically he was one of the first programmers ever. So they recruited him in the 70s. So he's this old man that worked with me at retail because he was bored, and he was telling me that the CIA would leak sort of these conspiracies out
Excuse me.
they would leak them secretly, right? To sort of confuse the population in different countries, and that started happening here in America, essentially. So the tactics that they used in Cambodia or where have you, where communism was sort of a thing, they're using it on us right now as we speak. So there might be some truth to that Anunnaki bullshit, and I don't know. It's the whole point isn't to misinform you. The whole point is to confuse you.
Right, right. No, yeah, yeah. They're my favorite. There's a book called Cult of Intelligence that's really important.
Yeah.
A lot of it's kind of redacted, but it was the first kind of a big expose CIA book. One of the stories in there that I never forgot was they went into this country in South America that had a coup boiling. They found out that the vampires were like a part of the mythology there.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
They killed one of the key guys in the group they were scared of.
You know what country it was?
I don't remember if it was Argentina or something like that, but they withdrew the blood and left two bite
Two
marks
bite
on
marks.
the neck to like fake him out like it was a vampire. And I was like, dude, this is
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
are weird.
That's wild.
Well, that's the dude was telling me like they fake alien sightings all the time, and like they act like they're hiding it,
Yeah.
and it's just like I don't know how much. I mean, he was an old man. He didn't seem like the type of dude that would lie to me about that. I
Yeah, I think what he probably talking about is partial hangout, right? Is that like you give them something, you give them 10% of the main deal and you act like it's the main deal
exactly,
and you protect
exactly.
the 90. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right, right.
it's just you know, and then they do the we can't deny or what is it?
Neither confirm nor deny. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so now we're still in introductions.
Yeah, we're still in introductions. Yeah, let's
Mike,
go.
we have two amazing guests today. I was so happy to have taken them seriously right off the bat. Another gift from
You were the first. You were day one.
another gift from Zilla Rocca. So, but
Yeah,
I it
Zilla.
was
Shout out Zilla.
Shout
weirdly
out
enough,
to
I remember staring at King Cobra, the cover, and hearing the single and going, "This is going to be fucking crazy."
Right.
And just needing to talk to you guys. So
what was the
I'm
single?
I'm so happy that now there's like a cult of knives and Ennals developed. Thank you, Brian Ennals, Infinity Knives, for coming here,
Happy to be here, man.
talking about this incredible album. Um,
You heard it. Did I give it to you?
I don't think you gave it to me ahead of time.
Oh man, you should have asked.
I should do that more often.
Yeah, you should have asked, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still this kind of old school. If you send it to me, I love that, and if you don't, I don't want to bother you.
Yeah. I just asked.
Right. I get it.
Yeah.
But this is it
But
was.
that only goes to you.
I hear you. I hear you.
'Cause
Uh,
you were probably our first like podcast, right, Brian?
right.
think
We
so.
we were.
Think
I got
so.
you before call out culture. It was, and then
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were referencing some of the stuff we talked. It was kind of dope. But yeah,
Or cabbages.
yeah. But
Or, before Dylan,
yep.
you
But
know.
that's, and I'm glad, man. I'm just so glad to see the come up.
Yeah, man.
And you're both scary people in terms of the abilities that you possess.
I'd
Just,
like to think so.
like
I wish
Brian always freaks me out. Can I tell you why Brian always freaks me out?
Why does Brian freak you out?
I came up listening to Ice Cube, Chuck D. Like I felt like, oh, I get Brian. I get this. Right?
Yeah.
This is the roaring voice of the people that I grew up on. Like this is
Yeah.
beautiful. We're back, you know?
Yeah.
And Brian is a rampantly pessimistic person who it just a lot of the things you say make sense to me perfectly, right?
Great. Yeah.
But then you keep doing other shit that's way out of that box and doing it really easily and really well. And I'm always like, fucking Brian, you know?
Yeah. What do you mean?
The stuff with Andrew, friends,
Oh, like the Andrew stuff, the
and the
Blackhead
newest
stuff.
Sleeping Dog
Yeah.
stuff. Honestly, my favorite song on this album is Foggy.
Oh wow. That was it's funny. We did that was written by Tariq and my homeboy Drew. It was on Tariq's album. Which one was it, man? Not Dear Sudan. It was one before that, correct? Foggy.
Yes, it was. Oh, you got the you got it on Bandcamp. So, yeah, so
We
you
got on Bandcamp. So we did.
Yeah.
So Foggy was, there was
that was a composition of mine done by 18-piece orchestra. Actually.
yeah, and I performed the song, which was written by somebody else. Like I said, our homeboy Drew. So that's like a live, that's a live recording or whatever. So I'm glad you fuck with that.
Oh man, let's do
I
it.
always forget that they put that on there. I think it's gonna be on vinyl as well.
No, it's fantastic.
But you fuck with the Foggy, huh? That's good.
Yeah.
And the Brian's singing voice is really dope. It just there's a lot of you can convey a lot of pain and joy and just different emotions. You can always stretch out and kind of find your way to any kind of song concept
Right.
uh, in a way that like some of the people that I thought you were based on struggled with, you know. So like
Right.
that's why I'm always like, wow.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing, um, the reason I work with Brian is for that reason alone. Is that
Mm.
Brian, for one, he's been rapping for 25 years.
Right, right.
So I mean, while he has his main voice, he can sort of there's like we our biggest strength is being able to talk in an abstract way that not a lot of other artists I've worked with have been able to talk to, like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
And Brian has a, when Brian needs to sing, Brian's got to sing. I'm not asking him to be fucking Bobby Womack, but
Right,
like,
right.
you know, I
Yeah.
he's got some strengths,
Yeah.
and that's why I don't like making that's why that's the reason I don't make beat packs, is because when I want to work with an artist, I want to produce the artist. I don't want to give them just a beat that they can rap on, or you know what I mean. It just doesn't. It might sound snobbish, but like it's just not how I work.
Yeah, he wants to, and that's to piggyback off that. That's why I fuck with Knives because it's not here's you know, 20 joints, and I'm cool with that. Like I can work like that.
Mhm.
I'm in the tradition of hip hop. So you give me
Mhm.
20 beat packs, I'll pick 10, and we'll make 10 fucking bangers. But what drew me into Knives and why this works so well so far, and hopefully in the future as well, is because we build from the ground up. This is what we want to talk about. This is a drum track. This is the BPM. What can you do over this? What are you feeling? You know what I mean? It's very
What pockets can
um,
you hit?
what pockets can you hit? Or this is the pocket I want you to hit. You know what I'm saying? So
And
it's
if not, we'll shift it.
it's not well, yeah. We're always we're malleable. When you get a beat
Right.
pack, you're kind of forced to you write within it. I'm
Yeah,
very much I write to the beat. So if somebody gives me a 2 minute joint with one and a half verses, I'm gonna give you the song's gonna be 2 minutes and one and a half verses. But Nas, it can be anything we want it to be.
yeah. We stretch it out, add some parts,
Stretch it out, shrink it, make it bigger, make it smaller, whatever the fuck it
and
needs to be.
on top of that, conceptualize what the song's gonna be about, and um, it's just like I always said, like, Brian is Tyson and I'm like Customato or
Mhm.
whatever, as a boxing fan. I'd like to also I like pushing Brian. I like pushing Brian. I think Brian likes getting pushed in the challenged, rather, not
Yeah,
pushed.
Right,
Like,
for
right.
sure.
you know what I mean? I think it's like a puzzle for him. Um and it's a puzzle for me too, you know? I get very easily bored doing I don't know how somebody can sit there and sample a loop, crank it out, crank it out, crank it out, crank it out. Like, if I'm making a beat, I'm gonna have to find a new program, a new software, a new synthesizer, uh, some I'd find some like royalty free music from like Papua New Guinea and see what their music theory is like. And I know I sound like a big fucking dork, but like, I don't I can't in good conscience release something if I know that I didn't push myself on it. Uh
Yep, yep. No, I hear you.
you know what I mean? It has to be. I'm not. I don't have the luxury to do that. I don't have the luxury. I'm not. Just be like, here's a boom bap beat. You know.
Right, right, right. You're not
Yeah,
like, yeah, I don't know, I described it in the breakdown. I'm just like, the loop diggers, right? The people who are like,
Yeah, and shout out to them. That's a talent in and of
Oh no,
itself.
dude. No. I'm not hating on
He's
that.
not knocking. Yeah,
I don't know how to do that.
right. That's
That
not what you
that
do.
that is
Yeah.
a magical to me. Like Blockhead is a genius.
Right. Absolutely.
And like I've had him help me a couple times actually. I'd give him phone calls and I'd be like, "Yo, I need your help. What do you know how to about?" But he's like he's an intuitive dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm a studious guy. You
Yeah.
know, I take notes and I'm you know just like watching not TED Talks, but like just essentially like scene processes of different musicians and like going back to the 70s and 60s and all that.
Yep.
Which is why a lot of this shit I make sound kind of like old, you
Yeah.
know.
yeah.
Well, I mean, there's stuff. That's why I started I started the first line of business for me was like, I can't call these interludes anymore.
No, they're not.
Some of the things on Rhino XXL, like,
They 8 long minute songs.
right. And some of the things on Rhino XXL, I could see the argument for as interludes, you know?
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the Papa interlude, like part three
Oh,
of it.
absolutely,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
minute and 59 seconds, like a little string, it's cool. But like these are like other worlds. Like these are definitely specifically, I guess the two-headed buffalo really feels like another dimension. Like there were times where I was like, is this did I put on a different album? Like it was, because it was, but that's fucking awesome. And back to the being malleable thing. I wanted to I don't want to think about this recently,
yeah.
but there's a lot of Glenn Ross talk recently.
We were just talking about Bill Burr. Yeah.
And yeah, and so there's a lot of Mammoth talk. And I've always had the private theory that Mammoth's work plateaued for one reason, because he wouldn't let anyone change the words or do anything different.
Mm.
He shut the door on the happy accidents of the group creative process.
Ah,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You
well,
need, you need to leave space for people to come in and be like, "What if we did this?"
you
Uh,
know,
Right.
I learned that I was just talking to Gary Suarez about that. Is this one of the things that has helped me, because I'm pretty open about my depression, and it's watercoloring. And one of the biggest feature, I mean, unless you're a control freak, uh, watercolor does whatever it wants. It
right,
goes
right.
wherever it goes, and that's just it has been part of the process as well with recording with me and Brian. Like once we set like a foundation, we pick the color and we drop the water in, and then it spreads. That's how the two-headed buffalo song came about. By the way, it was just
Yep.
kind of we had a play. It's a cover song, by the way, by a local band here, but uh, I had an idea for it, and just the way it came out was not what I intended, but it came out good, and I kept it going. And that's
Yeah.
just how watercolor works. I don't know if you've ever watercolored, it- but
Yeah, and that's a great. I think it's a great comparison. You gotta let it do what it does. Yeah,
but
Yeah. Yeah.
especially when you work with other artists, I don't like bitching and bossing at people.
yeah,
Unless I like specifically want something. Otherwise, like I choose these artists because I know what they can do. Um,
right.
like there's that opera song I have on there, that ends with like a drone, like a big metal drone, and
Mhm.
that's my cousin, on the baritone, and he came up with the melody. I wrote the lyrics, he came up with the melody, and you know, and that's how it is, and it sounded good.
Yeah. No, the way so Brian, the way I describe infinity knives to people, because I'm
Yeah.
not smart, right? And I got to find a
Right.
way to explain how smart he is
I
I
am smart.
to do trailers, I used to have to cut people's music up, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I did it in Audacity, right?
Okay.
I just pulled up Audacity, 2 songs, and started trimming them. and there were two tracks, right? But the two tracks are usually like two different tracks, but they line up perfectly. There's blocks of sounds.
Right.
When you pull up anything Infinity Knives produced in Audacity, it's dazzling. You know,
Yeah, I
it's not blocks at all. It's moving in different ways and tempos and comes. It's just a beautiful. You're like, wow.
Right. Right. Right.
yeah, we got a pretty funny review today that bothered the fuck out of me. And Brian was like, "Yeah, it's fine, man. It's all right." But I was
Yeah.
really upset. But what I don't know what the fuck the dude said, man.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
He liked my parts. He was like, "Oh, Infinity Knives' instrumentals were like beautiful and intimate." But he was like, "Brian sounds like a coked up leftist." And I was like,
I'm like, I wasn't really mad at the review because I'm like, well, yeah, he's not wrong. It's like nothing he said was incorrect. It's just his perception of it was that it wasn't something he really dug. But I'm a big
it was some bougie ass bullshit.
but I was talking to Knives about it earlier. I'm a big proponent of art criticism. Whether it's
Yeah.
film, whether it's music, I think it's an important component.
I think
And
so. I get
and
it.
look,
Like
you
at the
get it,
same time, because okay, so for example, there's a Pixies song called "Gigantic," and
Oh, yeah.
you know that song,
Yeah. Oh,
"Gigantic."
yeah.
right?
Incredible.
And I remember I was dating this girl, and I was like, "This is one of the most influential like rock group of all time." And then she was like, "Why? All they're saying is gigantic." And I was like, you're missing the fucking point." So there's like there's criticism, and then there's just being a fucking dumbass. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Well, and it's a fine, and a lot of times it's a fine line. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
because like
you
we
gotta
have
take,
that
you gotta
song.
take the
I
What's
went
that?
through this. I went through this when I met my wife. Like there would be like a short story writer, plays, novels, done all kinds of weird shit. But like I'd go to writers groups, like share stuff, all that,
yeah.
and I
How to write dialogue, by the way.
oh man, the best way I learned to write dialogue
I'm
was
so
reading
bad at it.
plays. I just inhaled plays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Just
yeah.
read plays and just digest it and just
I
go.
read The Crucible, and I was like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah,
I
in,
was
in college I used to like read scripts all the time. That was my thing. But
I
now I
got
can't, I
anyway.
can't do that
I'm writing a
anymore.
book right now, so but I'm having a rough time with the dialogue.
It's Tennessee Williams is who really led me along the way because Tennessee Williams taught me how to make big speeches that sounded organic.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, who gives big fucking speeches
In
in
real life, it's
everyday
not like
life?
a real thing.
Yeah, but he made that shit pop. So, but yeah, and I'd come back and tell her what somebody told me was wrong with the thing or whatever,
Sure.
and I'd be like, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm not doing anything with that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
and she'd be like, oh, why? And I'm like, well, that person is mad at the story for something that it was intending to do.
Right,
Like
bro.
right,
you're mad. You're like, why did this person have to do this? Well,
Right,
because that's who this person is, right?
right.
yeah,
Like that's important part of that character, and that uncomfortable thing you're feeling is intentional.
Yeah,
right.
it's like writing a really good antagonist.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm actually I don't know how much video games you play, but I've been playing this game called Pillars of Eternity, which
Yep.
is very old school, point and click, statistic based, strategic, but it's lore heavy. Like the lore is fat. And
Yep. Yep.
and it's like it's you have to make all these gray moral area
Yep.
decisions and shit like that, and you really truly hate the antagonist. You know what I mean? He's fucking your life up, and he's just
Yeah.
like a shit. But I'm like, wow, he's really well written.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, dude. I mean, do you remember? Sometimes it's a texture thing, right? You remember Bruce Lee at Bad Guys,
man, come
yeah.
on.
Of course, of course.
and
All right,
then
man, bro,
they
shit.
would be like that one kind of skinny, annoying dude who worked for the big boss,
Oh
Right.
yeah.
and he'd be flicking people and just doing crazy shit.
Man, let me tell you, Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan are my like two biggest
Yeah.
idols in the world. and I don't even know if I should mention this right now, but the reason I'm gonna say it. The reason we are releasing this album, God's Black Tears, is so we can fund our next record, Bruce Lee Sex Machine, based on my favorite hero of all time, Bruce Lee. For me, it's Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and Mike Tyson, or not, and Muhammad Ali are like the greatest of.
Yeah,
I think, yeah,
I'm Bruce and Mike all the way for sure.
I think when I was a kid, because
And
I grew up on old movies, I was just watching old movies all the time. I think the two pillars of my understanding of masculinity were like Bruce Lee and Cary Grant.
Oh,
Oh
very
yeah,
good. That's interesting. Yeah,
That
yeah,
was for Bruce Lee's movies were always based around fighting for underprivileged people.
yeah,
absolutely. Every single one. Yeah,
He didn't want to fight. He just ended up having to fight to
and
right.
he fucked motherfuckers up.
right, right.
You
And we
know,
would all sit there and be like,
And
"Oh
he'd be
shit!"
waiting for that moment where he couldn't take it anymore. You know what I
Right?
mean?
We were
It's
like,
that
"Oh shit!"
moment.
You pulled his necklace off. Oh shit!
Oh,
That's
right?
look, he's got
Yo,
he's got his fucking
yo,
the nunchucks are fucking out. But
did you
yep.
see
yeah,
that? Did
man.
you ever see that video of him doing the ping pong with the nunchucks?
No, that's fucking
Is that
funny.
real? I've seen that. Is that real?
It's real. It's real.
That's
Okay.
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. He was. I mean, he was a talented motherfucker. You know what I
No
mean?
No, for
question.
sure.
And,
No question.
look at my baby.
Yeah, but no, that's awesome, and I hope you fun. That's great. But yeah, this is. I've also heard. I've talking in discords, right? Uh,
Sure.
People just kind of grappling with this just because they wanted more King Cobra. They're
Yeah.
like King Cobra
Oh,
is hard as fuck,
yeah, that's not gonna happen.
and this is so beautiful. I kept saying this is the album Pitchfork should run with. You know,
Right.
Pitchfork should wave this flag all year. Like this
Yeah.
is, you know, this is just ornate and
Writing is like
beautiful.
vague.
Yeah.
I think it's because we definitely got throttled because we wrote a song about a very scathing song about Israel. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people weren't happy about that, but they're killing kids, and like Brian always tells me, you got to stand for something.
I
You know,
had the I
Yeah.
had the opposite reaction from that disgust. I found it reassuring.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was it's I get it, from a listener's perspective, I was totally anticipating people saying, this is cool, but I wish it was more King Cobra. That's like the least surprising thing I've ever heard in my life.
sure, sure, sure.
Because I get it. I get it. Like
that's not gonna happen.
King Cobra's bouncy, it's hooky. Everything, and the critic that Tariq was talking about a few minutes ago actually said this, and I do agree with him. Things were done with a little bit of a wink. Some of it's cute, and we talk about these real issues, but it's in a
Said we were
self-deprecating way, et
virgin.
cetera, et cetera.
Said we were
But
virgin.
with God's Black Tears, it's mean. It's ugly in a lot of places.
In
It's
the
not.
world, dude, there's fucking children dying, dog.
Yeah,
Like,
so
Right,
it's not.
right,
So
right.
it's not the time right now. If you're serious about art, not to sound
go listen to
pretentious, but
Amine.
but it's like, yeah, go listen to Amine,
Go listen to
or
fucking Vince Staples.
I think
Right.
Big Sean's coming out with a new record.
Yeah, yeah. Go listen to them, you fucking coon.
It's for the time we're in right now. Yeah, it was it's
He's thinking about fucking dancing.
we want something to be it's darker. It's darker because the world's darker. We're darker,
Right, right.
and it'd be dishonest intellectually and artistically to drop something else or to make King Cobra Part Two. Plus, how the fuck could we even do that? Like, I can't make a Part Two of an album. It doesn't.
Right.
That's not how it works. This is
This is
not how it works.
not Terminator.
And
Yeah,
it's part of the adjustment period of an audience member
and I
of
get it. And
you
to,
know,
and to those people in Discord, I say this: like, take your time with it. We respect you listening. Take your time with it. You'll
yeah,
fuck with this. Just give it some time.
yeah, yeah,
Don't judge art based on what you're expecting. Judge it based on what the fuck it is.
right.
Yeah,
Clear your palate and just go in.
Clear your palate, man.
but this, if I want anybody to get anything from this, is like just prepared to be for us to be predictably unpredictable.
Right,
There you
right.
go.
You know,
Yep.
I don't like I said, I get bored doing the same shit twice. You
I'm
know,
with you. I'm with you. So my prepared Gaza question was just this album has unfiltered discussions about Gaza throughout, and I found it reassuring in a way. In
Right,
mass society, it's something we do. We do everything we can do to not discuss it, and it drives me insane.
right.
Was it
Oh no, I
cathartic?
don't give a fuck.
Was it cathartic to scream this? Like, have other people come up to you and been like, "Hey, thank you for discussing this," or has it been like, "Ugh"?
But kind of both.
Little
Okay,
bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of both. I spoke at a class yesterday. At the college over here. So there's a professor who does he does American counterculture class, and
yep,
then one of the big ones he does is the Baltimore counterculture, because these are all like suburban kids who don't know anything about. All they know about the Baltimore is that it's a dangerous place.
sure,
They bring me in from time to time for like $500, and I played for them, um, the Iron Wall. And yeah, I got some mixed reactions. You know, I got this dude from Sudan came up and dapped me hard, and then there was like this sort of older, because it's a mixed class.
sure, sure. Yeah,
It's this like white lady who kind of just scurried away from me, and
right, right.
but like kids are fucking dying, dog. I don't care.
Yep,
I don't cry often, but I've cried more in my life to sleep, just in seeing this shit happen to children. You
right,
know,
right.
Yeah.
there's nothing I can say. There's not eh, eh, call me anti-Semitic. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Stop
And
killing. You
it,
know,
I'll say this about the record. I wasn't sold on it as a concept or as a production until Nas came up with the first hook where he's like
yeah,
cracker,
you're like I'm not.
rapist. I was like, I'm not feeling this. And it was like cracker, Nazi, and I was like, oh, that I can fucking get
No,
jiggy
it
with.
was like
let's go.
you're a Nazi and you
And
know
you
it.
know it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then
Right.
I was like, then I put the names in, and then we just got I cooked from there. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
now we have like a point of blast off. But it's I'd be lying if I said it's like a grown fucking man with a child who's not quote unquote financially stable, who's trying to get on the industry. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little worried, like, oh fuck.
Sure.
Like, are we gonna fucking blacklist ourselves? Like, but like
That's my
Tariq said,
dad.
like Tariq said, I always told him you gotta stand for something. So I gotta roll with that. If that's what I'm telling people, and if that's how I feel, like, and it's something I know Tariq feels strongly about. He made me feel stronger about it. I'm a pretty closed off person to world events or whatever the case may be when I can be.
I just love children.
Not not through an inherent selfishness, just like a lack of awareness sometimes. But
Yeah.
with that said,
You're
yeah,
selfish.
it's cathartic. Well, yeah, who isn't? But it's cathartic to hear it after it was recorded. It was cathartic to hear it places the intro of the record.
It was
Because it's like
cathartic to see fucking people go wild when we played it on
when we
stage.
played it live, people lost their fucking minds. And also, it's just
Lost
like
their minds, man.
it goes back to what I was saying when I was in there. When we were interviewed by Suarez, Gary of
Yep.
Cabbages, back when King Cobra came out. It goes back to the same thing. How far popular music has fallen that nobody else is fucking talking about it.
But
Right.
Like this should be like the 28th best song about fucking Gaza, and instead it's just the only one.
no,
Right. Right.
I was just telling Gary this the other day. I was like, because we were having this conversation about me and another friend where he was like, yo, man, um what's that, Kendrick really cooked Drake, bro. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, he did. I mean, that's a very low bar to cook it, fucking
Right.
Drake. But like I was like, look, Kendrick is an amazing. You could tell he studied like poetry, and he
Mhm.
studied all
Sure.
these rappers, and he's the best. But like the only reason he's the best right now is because he has fucking Kodak Black to as a peer, or J.
Yeah.
Cole, or and not to knock on those people, but like
Yeah,
like fucking Lucas Joyner. You know what
Right, Joyner Lucas. Yeah, yeah.
I mean? You know,
Jack Harlow.
Jack
Jack
Harlow.
Harlow.
Yeah, like that, dude. It's like 1997. Think of all the albums that came out in 1997, and
Right.
put Kendrick on there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's a
because
lot harder.
we're still living in the era of Fetty Wap and Migos, and
Yeah, hip hop's hair metal. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
literally, we're still listening to that same shit. And then now, from time to time, some Detroit, Flint, Michigan shit. You know, um,
100%. Yeah,
said,
Hey, I'll be right back. Just gonna check on my son. Y'all continue the convo
that's
though.
cool,
I'll be right
man.
back.
Yeah,
"Hey, you do your thing, man."
yeah. By the way, to the Gaza thing, I just I am Jewish, right? And it drives me nuts that no one will talk to me about this.
Yeah,
Like
you have Zionist family.
I have family not in Israel, but like I have family in synagogue, and talking to and no one even wants to deal with it.
Are you a practicing Jew
I'm around.
on
Uh,
the holidays?
it's like it's an ethnicity, so I pop in whenever. But like,
Yeah, from where? Poland,
no, it's just uh, my
Lithuania.
family is from Ukraine originally, but
Uh,
yeah.
so my girlfriend's family's from Odessa, Jewish
Oh yeah, and
Odessa.
that's another basic misunderstanding of like uh the evils of socialism in America or whatever, where you're like a lot of people were just from socialist countries, came over here and just kept like had values that coincided with that shit. Like, my whole family was communist coming through. So it was like,
Yeah, my girlfriend was actually telling me a story about when her grandma came here for the first time, and she
yeah.
was a little baby, and they found a swing set in somebody's backyard, and they just started playing with it. You know what I mean? And the people were like, I think they called the cops or something,
Mhm.
uh, because there was like no ownership from in Soviet Russia.
Right, right,
I mean, like that concept of ownership was like private ownership was not a thing, you
right.
know?
I was in
Word.
labor
All right,
class.
I'm back, fellas. Thank you.
I was in labor class watching like this documentary about the people that got us the 40-hour work week. They all were like my nana. Like they were all like just, immigrants from Eastern European countries.
And it's so fucking crazy because
Crazy.
that fucking asshole Gerald Ford took the what do you call it for that? The credit for that.
Oh shit. Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. That's
yeah.
right.
He was like, I did that. It's like, yeah, it's because people were fucking protesting you. You fuck.
Right. They made you do like
Yeah,
they hired detectives to beat the women up. Like,
yeah,
get,
yeah, yeah,
get
yeah.
out of here with that shit.
You're
Um,
you know.
weird.
So,
Um,
how far removed are you from your Ukrainian side?
I mean, it's pretty far removed. Like my
So you
mom.
don't know. So you don't know anybody that speaks
No,
Ukrainian.
no, I don't know anybody over there. No,
Uh,
no. And really, like, I'm in Maine. My mom's family was all from Cali, so like, yeah. And there was movement
and I'm
all.
trying to start a band with some people in Maine. Maybe I'll be seeing you this summer.
That's fire. You got to look up Kyle Gervais, KG Freeze. That dude's
KG
awesome.
Free. Well, I'm doing. It's more like it's an indie thing.
That's cool, man. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
an indie rock guy. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Perfect. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He's
You
incredible.
heard the name and thought he was a rapper?
Yeah, KG Freeze.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to. I was like,
KG
oh, he's
Freeze
a.
is his group. His name is Kyle Gervais. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
he.
So this band, they were called Sequela, but they broke up. And she's actually sings the you know say I know say,
Oh, that's dope.
and she's a crazy guitarist, dude. Like
Yeah.
she is. I mean, like as a musician, like it's all nothing but props to her. You know. But her and I are trying to start some together. We work well together. You know, she takes she has a great voice.
Mhm.
And I want to go to Maine in the summer.
Oh man, that
Oh,
would
wow.
be, yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
hang out with her and her girlfriend.
I need to see an Ennals Knives show. I've heard so
Hey,
much.
yeah. What the
Oh
fuck,
yeah,
man?
yeah, yeah. You've been fucking sleeping, bro.
Yeah,
We was up in
yeah,
fucking.
How many
How,
times have we been northeast?
yeah, we did Providence like twice. How far are you from Providence?
yeah. I think a few hours maybe, but yeah, not
Okay.
not
We did
that far.
Boston.
Not that far. Yeah, Boston. Yeah.
We would have let you in for free with that kneecap shit.
Oh, we got
Yeah,
yeah.
you should have hit us up, man. You definitely would have
And
could have been in there,
We
man.
gotta. I
fine.
gotta get my ducks in a row, man. But
But
the,
yeah,
so and I Infinity Knives always helps me understand music in a different way, which is really fucking.
right.
I
How
used to
so?
have this kind of thought, when you see a rap album and there's too many guests, you just start like you sigh a little bit. And you're like, this shit's gonna be so disjointed. Like,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
gonna suck. And so there's so many guests on this album, but everything feels in its right place. You don't
right.
think about the guests as you're listening to it. You think about the song.
Oh yeah. Well, that was that. It's a whole story behind that, but
Yeah, I was gonna say no. I wouldn't say too much.
yeah, I wouldn't say too much, but they're essentially a collective of people that I had written for, that I just credited. They're more a unit than they are individual guests, if that makes sense.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, so that's my
Sense.
guest question that I
Yeah,
had scripted here. There's so many people I don't know enough about that are such a critical part of the Knives and Ennals universe.
yeah.
I would love an Allison Clendaniel album produced by Infinity Knives, some
Everybody would. Yeah. Who
Portishead
wouldn't?
Everybody
shit.
asked for that. She just had a baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Congrats to Allison.
Yeah, congrats.
rats.
Man,
Rat.
that woman is a fucking talented.
He's a beast.
Yeah, I would love some Portishead type
But
crazy.
I will let her know. I will show her this. When does this come out?
It next Monday hits the Patreon. The Sunday after that, it goes everywhere, and you'll be tagged on all that stuff.
All
So
right, bet
Whatever.
that sounds like a plan.
I'll let
so
her because everybody, my girlfriend's been pushing for it, and we're thinking of doing a country record. Believe it or not,
oh, that would be perfect.
you
Yeah,
know, like some old because she knows how to yodel, like the
yeah,
old school yodeling. You know what I mean?
that's dope.
Um,
Yeah, it's I. The other one is I would love an Eze Jackson Ennals album.
Easy Jackson.
Easy Jackson, sorry.
Easy Jackson. That's the dude right there.
that's the man. And
That's
he's
the
the
man.
only rap features ever.
He's like a Dan. He's like Easy's like a pillar
Yeah,
in Baltimore rap, man. He's seen everything from like the late '90s, early 2000s till now. But nah, man, I'm gonna be working with Easy more like as soon as possible. Easy's just a dope dude to have in the studio to
Well,
bounce ideas off of.
he studied rap and he knows where to fit shit. And
He's an expert song maker, pretty much rap
yeah,
song maker. He's just
all the skits, that's all him. All the voice acting, that's all him.
yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, no, an Easy Jackson Brian collab does not sound bad. Maybe over Messiah music beats or something. If not, I want to know.
Ooh,
Yeah, that'd be crazy,
yeah,
man.
that was it.
yeah.
No, Easy Jackson like is one of the only people I've heard who's been able to like carry energy with you.
Right?
Like,
Oh, he knows. Like, look, man, that dude is a professional. Well, he went to first of all, he went to school for acting.
wow,
So, um, and more or less so did Brian. And I've been trying to tell Brian more so in his deliveries to have like a little bit of like in the line, just like add a little chuckle, like like when you rap. Does that make sense?
right.
Yeah. But
No,
no, Easy's the man. You were saying you think he matches energy. You were saying
yeah, like I think a lot of times Brian comes on the track and and everybody else on the track is like a rhino's here and kind of does that. And
right, right.
Easy Jackson's like, let's go, let's be rhinos
Yeah,
together, like let's fucking go.
yeah.
No,
Um,
he sets it up just perfectly.
yeah,
Perfectly. That's a perfect analogy. Yeah.
it's a beautiful.
Easy's a dude, a fucking professional man, and a great dude, a genuine fucking human being.
Just like a truly just like a very he cares about the community a lot.
Yep.
Like he's in the trenches, man. Like doing work.
like doing work, and he's what 45 years old.
Yeah, he's a little older than me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate people like Easy because he's malleable. Um, he can do different styles, and I'm I I hate to be shackled by dogma and genres. And
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
I mean, and Easy is like Easy even told me he used to do him and his brother, rest in peace. But him and his brother used to do like what did he say? He used to do
No,
like
they used to do the way he like sharpened his skills was they would freestyle, but they would pick a rapper to freestyle as. So
yeah,
they'd be
like
like, all right, they're like, all right, we about to bar out, but like we got to be Busta Rhymes,
exactly.
or we're about to be Big Daddy Kane, or we're about to be fucking Raekwon. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, and rapping is very sport like in terms of not just the competition of the art itself, but in terms of like you got to put shots up constantly in order to stay sharp. So that's how you stay sharp. It's a very unique way of just doing it. And I mean, if you're freestyling this fucking prodigy, you know, you're gonna your bars are gonna be are gonna be legit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that that's the this is I have old man takes about rap because I listen to old rap.
Yep.
Um, you know, LL Cool J is still one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Sure.
The GOAT.
Radio
Created the term.
Radio is one of the greatest albums of all time. You know,
Mhm.
Fear. You know,
As his mama said, you should knock mama said I should knock you out. Also a classic. Marley Marl, shout out him.
yeah, Marley, yeah, man. But Easy knows about that shit.
Yeah.
Brian knows about that
Yeah.
shit. Um, and just to be working with these folks who know where I'm coming from, and to not be like that's corny as fuck, you know, like just do it, man. Like let's just have fun. We're having fun in the studio, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
This
No,
round, this round, this round was bad. It was just terrible. My computer got lost. It was just the whole thing. But
no,
Yeah.
I'm actually going to get to my first question. Sorry. Uh, After making King Cobra, you guys had to take some time apart. It was a hard process. Did you consciously create this album differently, A City Drowned in God's Black Tears, or does doing the hard way, the way you did before, give you the results you want? How did you do that?
that's
Where did you go?
a mix of everything. I was working at a warehouse when October 7th happened, and it happened to be owned by some rabbis who are like these virulent Zionists. I mean, they would joke about like hospital bombings and shit.
Oh, Zionists are the worst. The
And
worst.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it was just so ridiculous. But I needed the job. Um, Luckily, I got a grant and quit as soon as I could. Um, but so the original concept for the album for me was cities like Detroit and Baltimore and uh, uh fucking God, these giant cities that used to be big industries where
Pittsburgh,
Yep, yep,
Cleveland,
yep.
Cincinnati, you know,
Cincinnati.
and they were just kind of left to rot.
Right.
Um, and that's what the title track, the with the guitar and the opera singing, that's what stayed. That was a remnant of that concept. Everything else was the Gaza shit,
Yep.
more or less, an addiction, you know.
Yeah.
Um, like we try to be as honest as we can in our music. I mean, obviously there's hyperbole, but I'm not gonna tell you which is which and which isn't.
I was gonna say not a lot though, not as much as you would hope.
Right, right.
You would hope for my sake that it was a little more hyperbolic than it
No,
actually is.
there's a reason the last time we partied was in October.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's I guess it wasn't I think creatively me and I was always kind of do it the same way. He lays down what he wants. I tell him, what my ideas are, and we've kind of built from there. There was just the difference in this one, and possibly why it's a darker album, not just what's going on in the outside world, but our interior worlds were darker. He just mentioned that shit job he had. Um, I had a lot of personal stuff going on that I won't get into, but it was like 24 was just
We were going
24. 24 is a rough fucking year.
Yeah, it was tough.
Um,
Yeah,
and you can hear that in the record. You know what I'm saying? So, it was King Cobra. When we look back on it, that we used to always complain about it, but that shit seemed like the good old days. You know,
yeah,
Oh,
no,
that
really.
that 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 seemed like
But
that.
after
I
King
look
Cobra
back.
dropped,
I look back at making King Cobra now. I'm like, oh, that was a breeze.
that was a breeze, and it was like not everything came naturally, obviously, because we came in sometimes in a bad mood into the studio, but like after King Cobra died, one of my best friends died, and people kept dying around me. Um, just the war broke out, and it just wasn't it. I just hate. I just seen there's just like this vision of this child bleeding to death.
yeah,
It's like seeing the life leave her eyes. It just have nightmares about that every night, you
I hear
know?
you. No,
And
it's
that's a
oh,
that's a life. And then I got my boss who who was like, if you guys want to donate part of your check, your $15 an hour check to support the troops in Israel, telling me that shit, like,
oof,
man,
oof.
it just
Yeah,
it was tough, man. It was really tough. I there's I'm a pessimistic dude, but
Yep.
there's one thing I love about the humanity. I love humanity, first of all, but like the big, I love children to death. To
Right,
I love children,
right. At a point where you don't protect children, it it feels like something's gone.
and just to
You know.
see them just being sniped. I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah,
the hell couldn't be hotter, you know.
Right.
For these people. Like I'm tearing up. I can't keep
No,
talking.
there's a way to see this album as like stages of grief, stages of processing grief.
Yeah, no, it's
Like
the,
oh for
the
sure.
beginning of it is fire breathing, is so like angry at
Yeah,
the situation, and the end is so mournful.
yeah,
yeah, well, you caught the bonus end.
That yeah, the bonus end for me, it like that's how I listen to it. So it feels like that those stages for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What was the official end?
Oh,
The official
trouble
one.
was where it is in the bonus cut.
Yeah, oh trouble was but what was the official end, Brian?
Well, the last song I'm on is all my friends are depressed, and then there's the record after that, right?
Right, right.
Uh,
But
oh, what? Two-headed buffalo.
Joy the Buffalo, yeah.
It's the official end.
And then Foggy and the other joint are kind
Foggy.
of
Yeah, yeah.
bonus tracks up front. But again, those were very intentional. Those weren't just like, hey, we got two random songs sitting around, let's throw them at the end. Like those were very intentionally chosen
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
to put like an even finer point
Right.
on the project as a whole.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it
saying?
fit.
So
It fit.
and it fit perfectly. So with that said, a plug, to everybody that has heard the album streaming, you get Dan Olney will tell you there are two
Yep.
other tracks on there that
Incredible.
really complete the
Be on
painting.
vinyl, too.
Yep. And there's definitely a way to see the progression from All My Friends Are Depressed to like Foggy is definitely feels like a suicide song.
It is.
Yeah,
It is a suicide song, but written
yeah,
by a friend who actually has a very good life right now.
yeah. He's
I
doing
remember
good.
he wrote it. It was dark times, man.
It's a
Uh,
beautiful song. It reminded me Knives of like Better Off Dead off the Bill Withers debut.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, this dude, he's a great producer on his own right, by the way.
Yep.
Great
Uh,
producer.
I don't know what he goes by now, but Drucifer Scott. I'll link y'all up together.
Right on.
The mailman now. He's very happy. He's got a new girlfriend. Um, he's like out living in LA. He's one of my best friends.
That's beautiful.
But he wrote that song, and initially he wanted me to remix it because it sounded like Nine Inch Nails. Did you ever listen to like what was that? The 2-disc album, the Nine Inch Nails album that was a 2-disc.
After Pretty Hate Machine, you would think.
Yeah, 95, 96.
Okay.
It sounded like super industrial, but I was
Yep.
like,
Yep.
I took all that shit out and I gave it um, the proper like somberness that it needed.
Oh, Downward Spiral? Was it?
Downward Spiral. It sounded like some shit from Downward Spiral. And
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this song it's like you're masking your sadness with some industrial noises and shit. Let
Yeah.
me put in like some violins and some, some mellower stuff. And then it came out as like a very like, I mean, he was suicidal, like no doubt about
Yeah.
it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, but Brian did a great rendition of it.
Yeah, man.
I should say, you know what? Write this down, Dan.
Mhm.
Um, my first album is called "In the Mouth of Sadness." It's not on Dear Sudan. It's called
Yeah.
"In the Mouth of Sadness," and the original Foggy is on there.
And it's still Infinity Knives?
It's still Infinity Knives. It's Foggy.
I gotta hear
Yeah.
that.
The album is called "Ugly Nigga from Heaven in the Mouth of Sadness." And then you can juxtapose, you can see the difference and all that.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
No, that's fantastic. I gotta find that. I'll find that.
Yeah, if you like Foggy, yeah, I love that song.
I love it.
Great song.
So,
Love it.
yeah, buy the Bandcamp version, get the bonus stuff.
Get that bonus shit. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely support. Um, yeah, and the merch has been dope. Just seeing that take off is great.
And the merch has been giving me fucking headaches, man. I need a distributor, bro.
I
This
hear you.
DIY
I
shit
hear
is
you.
killing me, man.
It's a lot to handle that shit
But
yourself.
it's like,
It's
how many
crazy.
motherfuckers in Australia really want to fuck with me that much? You know, with shipping is $26, and I try to make it cheap for people.
Yep, yep. No, handling it yourself is crazy. You can
Crazy.
buy Free Music Empire merch. I'm not going to send it to you. Another
Excuse
person
me.
will send it to you. And I'll make less, and I'm totally comfortable with that. But yeah, no, there's a lot of great shit, man. Here, I was to say, what is like one of my favorite things? I'm such a
Mhm.
nerd. One of my favorite things about the creative process was watching my friend hit a new level and being like, "Oh shit,
Right.
crazy!" Uh,
Yeah.
so being so happy for that for some to see can you think of any moments on this album where you felt like your homie hit a new level?
But that question for both of us.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think on the title track, man, when he played me that at the crib, because he does, like I said, I had a rough year. I wasn't for his solo joints or the, the non Brian Ennals joints. I wasn't really in the stew for him. So when he played me that, and I heard the end, I was like, oh, this is some next level shit, Hoss. You know what I mean? You're cooking
five
right
minutes
now.
in, it becomes a heavy metal song. You're
Yeah,
like,
that's when he got me. Because the first time I was like, all right, man, where's this going? And then it hit 5 minutes. I was like, oh shit, it was all worth it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It
yeah.
was all worth it. But
People don't.
I think I know what his answer is
It
gonna.
gets a little annoying after a while when people just like you've gotten used to my eccentricities, Brian, where you're
Yeah,
like,
for sure. I've gotten used to it. I think I know what his answer to this question is gonna be, but I'm curious as to what he's gonna say from me, if anything.
about what?
The question, the hitting another level.
Oh, hitting another level?
any moment points where you heard and you were like, "Damn, he hit another level. This is beautiful. I'm so happy."
I'm sorry. My brain is so fried. Can you tell me what the songs on the album are? Can you name them?
Iron Wall, Chinese Buffet,
Chinese buffet second. Yep.
Soft Pack Shorty, Baggy, All My Friends Are Depressed,
Oh
and
man, is short back
Short
short
back short, soft back
oh,
short.
is that the one?
short back shorty and the one with the da 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 da.
Oh, All My Friends Are
I,
Depressed. Yeah.
honestly, like the Iron Wall was kind of where it's like,
That's what I thought he was gonna say. Yeah.
yeah. No, the Iron Wall, because because that was the one where you were like you were against that song, not the song but the beat. You
Right.
know, it just like it didn't fit. It didn't fit. But
Yeah.
I told you I'd freak it. You know what I'm saying?
Because I remember when I did, I knew I had him because it was like when we were when I finally finished it, and I finished it like right in front of him. We were just chilling the whole day. I like go out, smoke or whatever,
Where did we
come
record?
back in. We said what?
Where did we record that at Griff's?
At your crib.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, and then I did that, and then I did that thing that rappers do where I like walk up next to him with like the rap on the phone, and like the beat's going, and he starts jumping around the fucking living room. And I was like,
Oh,
okay, like we got
that's right. That's right. I
yeah.
remember now. I remember now. And we're like, you did that because you did that. Oh my god, I remember that line. You were like the line that everybody loves. You were like, of course it starts. Genocide is American as apple pie, baseball, and mass shootings, and then the drop comes in, and then it's like, wow, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. That's the one. Yeah,
That's
I
hard.
honestly like you're having such a rough year that every time you came through, I was just happy that you came in. And I was like, well, he did it. I mean,
That's
like,
that's crazy.
but that's what
That's when that's when you've had a rough year. When wherever you go, people are like, "Good
People are
for
like, oh
you. Good for you
yeah, man,
being around."
he's awake.
Yeah,
yeah. He's awake. He doesn't have white shit on the corner of his mouth.
yeah, yeah. Good for him. Yeah, that's different, man.
Yeah, no, but when you did that, because Brian always does this shit where he underplays. Um, I know when he's quiet that he's got a heater. He's got a missile, like in his phone or in his notebooks or somewhere. You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
I honestly like my version of. I don't know if Brian mentioned this, but my version, because you know sometimes I write notes to Brian. I'm like, hey, can you kind of fit in this line into this? And you'll see. He says, I can do it. I'll do it. But my Iron Wall was so offensive. I was like, I'm not saying that. But I was like, oh, come on, it's got to hit. But then he still made it hit, regardless.
That's and that's fantastic that you guys are just pushing each other in this way.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
that there's nobody being like, "Oh my God, walk this back." It's just like it's
No, all we do is
hard.
sharpen each other's like
Yeah,
like I said, like he saved me, I saved him. We sharpen each other's sort of creative
yeah,
as much as we fight and bicker and argue, we never bicker and argue about where we are creatively. We
yeah.
argue about who owes who $6.
Right, right, right.
You know what
Nah,
I
it's all yeah. We
mean?
it's like not
Fight
to
like
get sad,
brothers. We fight like
not to yeah, we fight like brothers, and not to get sappy, but creatively we just trust each other at this point, man.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not, we both know each other aren't gonna
And
like
I've known it since the day one. Like
right,
2012, 2013. I was like, this the dude I want to work with. Like this is
Yeah.
gonna be it, you know?
And the way like because obviously I saw the track list for the first time and saw two 7 minute songs with a lot of guests on it, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then like um but when I pressed play and it came out, it was almost like seeing a new movie from a great director,
right,
you know,
Well,
yeah,
where you're just like,
like I said,
fucking, this is a fucking Kubrick movie. Let's just drink this in, you know?
yeah,
drink it in.
Yeah.
and that's how it's gonna be. Like it's not. I'm not. If you want to hear the same old shit, just go
Go
listen.
listen to it.
Go listen to one ACDC's there. Rascal Flats is there.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear our old shit, what it, the old shit's still there. Just go stream King Cobra again. Buy another copy. Do us a favor.
Yeah,
Like that's just not going anywhere.
it's
You
not
know what I
going.
mean? Like
But we're not doing that shit again.
Right.
We're I'm in the business of pushing myself, for better or for worse.
Well, and there's other artists out there. Like I'm gonna start to use this album against people in the sense that there's artists out there who are doing facsimiles of their previous albums, and people are like, I wish they were experimenting more, doing more. I'm like, do you like a city soaked in God's black tears? Because that's that's experimenting, just the way you're talking about.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Like so.
I mean, the album was angry and it was very honest, and I would have felt weird making a fucking party record while kids were fucking getting killed.
Right.
Right, right,
There you
right,
go.
right, right.
That it's just like hate it or love it. There's nothing like it.
Yep.
There's not going to be anything like it. You know?
Nope.
And I mean, I get petty with critics. You know, I tweeted something I shouldn't have tweeted. I don't know if Brian saw it already.
Yeah, I saw it before the call. I was like, well, what the fuck can I do? He's a grown man.
Yeah, but but like I don't know. But it's just like I don't have the patience for this shit anymore. Kids are
Yeah,
dying, dude. Like it's the most I can do without catching a charge. You know?
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
No, like just the fact that like kids are dying and we're just like, oh my God, can you believe this? It's like, dude, I don't know.
It's brutal.
And
Yeah,
my girlfriend has to hear this all day from me. So
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
even my,
What else you got, Dan?
So, yeah, yeah. The last, I guess maybe the last big point before recommendation corner would just be um this. I'm uncomfortable calling this a rap album. It in the
Yeah,
not because there's no rap. It's lots of rap on it. It's great rap.
I like this. I like this where this is going already.
It just feels like it's that's not enough, right? Like the
right,
rap album is not enough for what this album is.
I
Uh,
mean, it's the veneer.
it has lots of beautiful 1980s Egyptian lover sounds on it. Like it's very rap in a lot of in the old school ways, in
right.
in trap ways. There's lots of cool stuff going on in the production and the rapping, but everything is here. Everything
Yeah,
is here. The heavy metal we talked about, the
Opera.
right, the opera, the kind of this is maybe alt folk kind of
Yeah,
yeah.
Two-Headed Buffalo. Like it, everything is here, and and it's just there's nothing like this. I would just I don't think it should be called a rap album.
Excuse
Does
me.
that make sense?
I
No,
love
totally. We agree.
it. I love where this is going.
100%, man.
Oh,
We appreciate that sentiment more than anything, I think, when it comes
yeah,
to
because
critiquing. Yeah.
it gets annoying hearing shit like things that I work on hard as fuck being called interludes. It's like, how is this a fucking 8 minute interlude, brother?
Right. It's not
That's
an interview.
all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That
know?
was my pitch in the breakdown. Is this it's I call it an other world because it's like an alternative dimension of what this album could be. Right?
Yeah.
Right,
This
right.
album could be all this, you know.
Yeah,
But it's teleported here from a different dimension for us to see it, and that's dope. So
Yeah, man. And shout out to you for, really recognizing that.
appreciate that, man.
And
Real shit.
we're trying our best. And I feel like a lot of the times it's uphill because unfortunately we have morals.
There's way too much integrity.
Yeah, way too much integrity for us to well, how do you say it, to sell out and just it's just like right now is not the fucking time to fucking dance and sing and shit like that. You know what I mean?
right,
Yeah,
right. And honestly, it's like
America's in trouble.
the other problem with selling out is you could sell out and not actually hit
that's the worst.
and be
That's the worst
stuck
thing in the world. Yeah, be
next to
stuck.
the other people who aren't selling out, making the
Yeah,
same money, but you're in
that's
the
dark.
money shoes and you're like, get the fuck out of here. Like I'm not even hitting right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. It's I don't know. I just want to make my big piece. I just want to make my Bruce Lee sex machine.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. I I was trying to explain to my son, right? And my son's getting into
How
rap
old did you
music.
get?
He's 11. He loves Kendrick, all that. He's picking it up. He's doing great. But he
Better teach him about fucking NWA,
oh man.
the
Yeah,
America's Most Wanted.
absolutely. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. He's inquired about it. I've been like, a little later. But
Yeah, fair enough.
but with the he came to he's like, hey, this video game that I'm playing, Connor Price is like on the is this music for it. And he's a TikTok rapper who's doing JID's flow basically.
Right.
So
What's up with these JID clones, man?
it's a white kid doing JID. People love that shit.
I
Yeah,
don't.
they love it. Yeah, I get it.
I love that shit. So I I told all I said to him was like, yo, like I just want you to understand that Connor Price didn't get that spot because he's the best rapper in the world. He
Right,
got that spot because they had an opening and they needed to fill that spot.
right,
And I
My
was like,
place time.
do you know how they filled the spot? He's like, what do you know? I'm like, they looked up who had the most TikToks and who was hot on TikTok.
yeah.
And he was hot on TikTok. He's a very hot TikTok rapper. And they put him in, you
That's how
know?
it works. That's
And
the machine now.
I was
They're even doing that in Hollywood now. You got to have a certain amount of Instagram followers
Oh
to get a role.
oh
no,
yeah.
dude. My roommate's friend is one of the main casts of SNL now because of TikTok.
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
Her
That's
friend, like her actual, like her buddy. You know,
yeah. It's all it all has to do with you get if
but
you
I,
it's,
I'm
you got to be hitting that algorithm to get on now, man.
me and Brian
That's
are
it.
not cute enough to do. We're so music focused that like we're like old. We're like
well,
old.
and my son has heard some underground shit too. So I said, think about it. Andrew could totally make music to soundtrack your video game.
You know what? Let
Yeah,
me.
for sure.
It would
Up,
sound fire.
shout out Andrew, by the way, my
But
dude.
he's not on social media like that, so he's not
Right.
going to get that spot. I was like, you have to learn that in
Talking
life.
about sleeping dogs, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I was like,
My
in
boy.
that's right. In life, they're just filling a hole when they hire somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh
And
yeah.
so that's all it is. And it's not about how great they are. They just
Oh,
fill that hole. So as long as he can understand that, that'll help him criticize rap a lot better.
oh, it also it takes you a while as a musician to see, especially when Baltimore. I was just watching a documentary, made by this
So, Keaton,
2020 minutes.
almost. We got like 5 more minutes.
Mhm.
Pretty good. Going good. Yeah. Good interview. How you feeling, buddy? Good.
But and they were talking about the Baltimore scene and this and that um and you see and they were talking about like yeah I
Oh,
showed
still in.
guitar and all of a sudden they chose me and now I'm in this huge band but literally the person that they were talking about had like rich parents to pay for PR and
Right,
they
right, right. All that. Yeah. Yeah.
and all that shit so and you grow and me I grew up poor as fuck,
Mhm.
poor, from the slums. Like I like one of my earliest memories was watching my cousin get kicked to death. It,
Oh
like,
my God.
and
Jesus
you know,
Christ.
and he died from of sepsis. He died in his sleep. Because he went to sleep it off, got really sick, and by the third day he was out.
Yeah.
And so um I'm trying my best, like always trying new techniques, and I'm
Yep.
learning to draw, and I'm doing all this. And then I'm like, is there something wrong with me? And it's like, oh no, I just don't have fucking rich parents,
Right,
or
right. Totally.
because not a lot of people know this, but like Drake's uncle is Larry Graham, and Larry Graham is the guy who invented slap bass, and
For
he
Sly Stallone.
Sly Stones, man.
Sly Stallone.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Proximity is a big deal, dude.
it's
Yeah.
a big fucking deal. And not only that, but Larry Graham taught Prince how to play bass.
Larry Graham. Yeah. Shout out
Yeah,
to Larry Graham.
you know
The
what I'm saying?
yeah. I
Like,
wanted to get into recommendation corner and
Yeah.
roll. Wanted to say my biggest recommendation for the people is 1987. This is an album by the Egyptian Lover.
Oh man, that's
Hmm.
for some reason. Missy. Real quick, Missy. This girl was my neighbor. His friends with him for some reason.
I need to talk to the Egyptian
Egyptian
lover.
Egyptian lover. Is that a
I need
That's
to talk to the Egyptian lover.
that's the guy that was making the beats for the NWA joints.
Yeah, I was about
Yeah,
to say he's a West Coast dude, right?
but yeah, and he's
He's like
been
the
making
808 king.
Brian. He's been making a series of '80s dance albums
Hmm.
that just sound straight up like he's like, what if the '80s were right now?
Right.
And this one's called 1987, but he has 86, 85, 84, and this one has a song called El Atro. It's fucking dope, dude. It's so crazy. Um, I love it's circuitry. It's circuitry out there. It's like
Right.
I want to dig
Yeah.
into your circuitry. It's fucking great. Uh, the songs are like 6 minutes long. It's like mad old school.
I love
Yeah.
that. Love that shit. Where because it was meant for the dance floor.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
roller skating rink, don't forget that, of course. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the MC was just there to hype everybody up.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
here. Where are you? Everybody, what you wanna do? Yeah.
Oh, a second one, a second recommendation, only two. A Miles, all one word. A
8 Mile.
Miles. It's
Eight.
Amiles. The album is called I So Boom, and this is PTP Records, Gang PTP, uh, killing it. 8 songs. They always do wild experimental shit. This is a really cool album that does deal with mental health stuff, but it's also kind of a tribute to like hardcore and just
Right.
different genres. It's really cool. I mean, I'm in a very white place, and I'm just like with my speaker outside listening to all this shit.
Where?
Yeah, that's how you gotta do it. Let
Fucking
them know what's up.
test the neighbors. But
Yeah, yeah.
my neighbors are
See who's
beautiful.
down. No.
They're what he's in like a band, so he practices in his garage out there for everybody to hear it. So he's never gonna call anybody on me. So it's cool.
Good.
Um, I love it.
What part of Maine do you live in?
Gorham, near
Oh.
Portland. It's yeah,
There's a town in Maine called Wayne, Maine.
yep.
And I have a really good friend from there who I would like to visit one day as well.
Yeah,
Probably this summer. I'll probably come stop by and say what's up to you.
Do
yeah. I
we
would
give
love that.
recommendations as well?
What's up?
Do we give recommendations as well? Is that part of the corner?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Go for it, Brian.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
that was
gotta
my
bounce in a
last one.
second.
Yeah.
All right, I got it's funny because Tariq was just talking about rich kids as parents fund their career. With that said, Most Def's daughter came out with a record last year, Gap Year by Layla.
That's right. That's right.
I'm a fucking, I mean, like, I love hip hop, obviously, but like at the end of the day, I'm like an R&B dude. She dropped like a very '90s reminiscent R&B record last year. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I
It
did
didn't
listen to this.
go as
Yeah.
well as I thought it would I thought it would.
yeah, I thought she was gonna be out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But also I was like listening to Smokey's out, Smokey Robinson, obviously. Quiet Storm,
Gasm?
19
Gasm?
Gasms.
no, I was not listening to Gasms. I didn't hear Gasms. Although I do want to hear Gasms, but I'm
No,
scared.
I
to hear
listened to it. It's weird. It's weird.
I bet it's freaky. But
Weird.
but speaking of '90s R&B, the Quiet Storm album from 1975 is kind of the blueprint
Crazy.
of
Crazy.
all slow R&B that came
Yeah.
from 75 to 95. The first two tracks might be my favorite two records of all time. Quiet Storm and shit. What's the second record called? Shit.
Oh,
Anyway, with that said, last one. I'd forgotten about this mixtape. I think it came out like 2012. Willie the Kid, the Fly 2.
Oh, right.
Willie the Kid,
That is
I think
a Thoreau.
Willie the Kid, the Fly 2. Straight blog era
Oh my
bars.
man,
Just
hey, what happened to that shit?
oh, what happened to that? I was listening to it like
Wow.
Styles P's on it, some other cats are on it, and it's like Lava Dark Man is on it.
You
Wu Tang
Who-
affiliate Lava Dark Man.
you know who's giving me that energy right now? Like the
Who's
blog
that?
era, kind of barring out energy. Starlito has a new album called Regretfully.
Yeah.
He's fucking just
All right, bet. Let
obliterating.
me put that on. All right, yeah, that's all I got. Reek,
He's
you
obliterating
got
it.
it.
He's fantastic. He's at his peak.
I'm putting
Uh,
it on my shit right now.
Earlier was amazing. So, shout out to him. Knives, what are you rocking with?
Me, I'm rocking with some really depressing shit, man. Um, I would say obviously this band called The Drones. They're from Australia.
Mhm,
They released a song, an album called Gal Mill because they recorded it in the mill.
mhm.
But the first track is all you got to listen to. It's called Jezebel, and you really got to pay attention to the lyrics. And so a couple years later, they formed another band called Tropical Fuckstorm. You know,
Okay.
and listen to it's all about the lyrics, man. Um, and listen to the song, um, "The Future of History." You
All
know,
right, we're all locked in.
and
Got
oh, and one final one is another one by the Drones called uh 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 shit fuck something execution. So something execute. So it's the first track off their album, feeling kind of free, and it's I want of something execution. So that's it.
amazing. I got it. The Tropical Fuckstorm have a new album that's like supposed to be on 2025 called Fairyland Codex.
Yeah, June
Yep, yep.
20th, apparently.
We're I'm gonna see them the next day. I'm gonna hang out with them.
The cover is fantastic. I love
Yeah.
it. It's wild. It's
They
how things are crazy shit. Yeah, it's cool.
they we're opening for them in September here in Baltimore. And I've been really close with the manager as of late. I was on the phone with him right before I got on
Mhm.
uh Zoom with y'all.
That's
So
awesome.
my favorite
Good
band,
shit. Good shit.
I'm manifesting. I wish my favorite band was Coldplay.
Wow.
Or I'd get manifested that, but
My favorite band is Shannon and the Clams, and I wish I could have them on. They're amazing. I love Shannon.
yeah, I couldn't say I've heard a song by them.
They're my kind of shit, man. I'm into
Shannon and the
surf rock.
Clams.
I like surf rock type shit. I don't know.
Oh, they sound, dude. I was gonna say, did they sound like the B-52s?
Yes, kind of a B-52 surf rock
It
situation.
gave
Yeah.
me a B-52, the name alone.
Yep, yep. I love it.
No, I like the way they look. I'll tell you that, Dan.
There you go. Shannon Shaw.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
love it. So thank you for taking the time for this.
Yo, always a
Yeah,
pleasure, man. Thank you for having us,
I was
bro.
ranking my favorite albums of the year so far. And you're already at like I think you were already top 10, 6,
There we
of
go.
five.
Let's creep up in the rankings a little
So
bit.
it's
Try to get in that top four. I'd be
there's
happy with
just
that.
nothing that you can get that sounds like this. So you gotta have it, bro. You gotta have that shit.
Yeah, nah, we're not. I don't see us stopping experimenting. I mean, we might hit a Coppola and do a Metropolis one day, but
Yeah.
now
Yeah, and just like and yeah, we'll harass the assistants and interns on sets just like him at 85, touching all the girls. It's like, come on, Coppola, what are you doing, man?
Dude,
What are you doing?
hopefully we're still. He did Taxi Driver, right?
No,
Hopefully not. No.
that was Scorsese.
He,
Scorsese.
he
Yeah,
did Apocalypse Now. Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully the next one is Apocalypse Now.
That's the one. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
the one I'm trying to get to. Because
no Godfather, and no Godfather 3.
Nope.
yeah, yeah.
Nope. The Conversation is the one. That shit is fire.
Yo, that's the Gene Hackman one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I peeped a little bit at the a couple weeks ago after
And an
Gene Hackman
underrated
passing. It's like,
Harrison Ford antagonist shit. I like that shit.
really?
It's just
Yeah.
rare. That's
Oh,
rare.
OG. OG. Uh,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, look, Dan, thanks for everything. To everybody out there.
okay.
God's Black Tears. Please
Yep.
buy it on Bandcamp. But I understand times are very hard, so
Sure.
stream it. And it's not King Cobra, but
Nope.
again, to hammer it home, judge it on its own terms. Um,
Yeah.
and
Don't expect anything to ever be the same ever from us.
yeah, and honestly, and forget us. Just approach art like that in general. That'd be my advice to everybody.
I think
Yeah.
my rule of thumb, like that I've gotten from studying music, is like people will freak out and be like, "Why did you change?" for a few albums, and then your audience understands that's what you do, right?
And yeah, and then they go back and they're like, oh, the one that they said was changing and they didn't like it. They're like, that was the classic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. My favorite Prince album is the one that everyone hated when it came out, right? Like,
Yeah,
Dirty
exactly.
Mind.
Which one?
Dirty Mind.
Oh, that's a great fucking record.
It's an incredible album, but at the time, the studios wanted him to be Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the
People didn't like Around the World in 80 Days either.
He ruined that shit. And I love Around the World in 80 Days.
I love that record.
Love that record. So, yeah, he ruined them, and then he was able to set his own table after that. His audience was fucking with him.
You got to blow everything up, man.
You got to blow everything up. I think you guys were doing lots of experimental shit on Rhino XXL, but I think some of your audience is started with King Cobra.
Yeah, so, for sure.
They're not used to this ever-changing situation.
Right.
Right.
They will be.
They will be. Dan, yo, I appreciate it again, man. Let me go just give this kid a bath. Tariq, yep. I'll see you soon, brother.
Hear you, man. I'll tag you and everything. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
I'm passing out.
Definitely. All right, peace out, y'all.
Peace.
What will tomorrow bring?